Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. Today I'm in the middle third of the Keys of Marinus, and I've got two things to talk about. The first one is a little bit of trivia regarding the Screaming Forest, the first episode I've watched. The week that aired also happened to be the first week that the BBC expanded to 2 channels. The new channel was called BBC Two, and the flagship channel was renamed to BBC One, which it remains to this day. So that means that this episode was actually the very first episode of Doctor Who to appear on BBC One. The more interesting thing I want to talk about is actor holidays. So first you have to understand that during the era when these episodes were filmed, it was a real slog for the cast. They were working practically year-round, producing 40 new episodes every year, and each week was like being on a treadmill. They had just a couple of days to learn their lines, they had a table read, a couple of run-throughs, and then 2 days of filming, and then it's on to the next thing. Just onward and onward and onward. And William Hartnell was not in the best of health, even in these early on stories. And so he reached a point where he desperately needed a vacation. So the writers did a really clever thing. They just wrote the Doctor out of 2 consecutive episodes. With the structure of this particular story, that was pretty easy. They're just traveling from place to place using these wrist teleporter thingies. At the end of yesterday's episode, the Doctor simply traveled 2 stops ahead to work on the quest from the back end while everyone else continued on forward through the next stop, which conveniently afforded 2 stories in which the Doctor was simply not present at all, with no further explanation needed. That gave William Hartnell a 2-week vacation. By all reports, he came back completely refreshed and re-energized, and it definitely shows in the next episode. So this technique gets used frequently throughout the 60s era of Doctor Who with the first and second Doctors, where periodically a character will simply be written out of the story for an entire episode in order to give the actor a week off. It's a pretty clever way of doing things, and it's really not as obvious as it might seem unless you're looking for it. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Tomorrow I wrap up the Keys of Marinus, and I hope I'll see you then.